What is going on, you guys? It's Extreme here, back again with another episode of Becoming Legend. This will be my House of Wolves review episode, and I will be talking about all the things that came out in House of Wolves. We'll be talking about Prison of Elders, we'll be talking about the story mode, we'll even talk about Trials of Osiris. Yeah, PvP. Who'd have thought? Me, of all people. PvP. Seriously. Anyways, so let's start off with the story missions that came with House of Wolves. Well, first things first, if you start to finish, hit a little stopwatch from when you start doing the DLC to when you finish doing the DLC missions. It'll take you between an hour and 2 hours, depending on what difficulty you do the missions on. And also if you're doing it with a full team or if you're doing it solo. That in and of its own is at least 3 to 4 times the length of the Dark Below DLC, and I'm quite happy with that. Personally, I think the story that was added with House of Wolves was far better, was better done. It overall was a much more enjoyable experience. It gave us more missions and more activities to do than we had previously. So yeah, personally, I think the story was way better than the Dark Below story, and I very much enjoyed it. There's a lot of people that didn't. I did. I enjoy going back and playing through those missions whenever they pop up in the weekly heroic. It's fun, and at the end of the day, for me, that is always my primary thing, is what's fun. Things that are tedious and boring and just, oh god, why am I doing this? Yeah, not a fan of those. So I guess now we should talk about, oh yeah, one little glitch. Sorry, by the way, if that's not the first glitch that's been in this whole series, I apologize, you guys. I can't really do much about it sometimes. That said, moving on. I can't speak words. I briefly want to discuss the exotics that were added with the House of Wolves DLC. And what I mean by the exotics is the exotic armor, the exotic weapons, the exotic weapon bounties, more specifically, that we know of. All of them, all of the exotics that were added with House of Wolves were far better than the exotics that were added in Dark Below. I mean, there was a few exotics in Dark Below that were good, but the exotics that were added in House of Wolves, oh my god, so much fun. The Fallen themed weapons are amazing. The Lord of Wolves is by far my favorite shotgun in the game, period. I love the amount of damage you can do to people in a very short amount of time. You know, I wish I had it. I had gameplay of it that I could show you guys here, but I don't. I just acquired for myself the Dreg's Promise, and it's not the greatest weapon in the game. I'm pretty sure it's going to get a buff of some kind, but it's definitely fun to play with, and it's something that I enjoy playing with, and hopefully you guys will get a chance to do so as well. But overall, all the exotics were very good, and I don't have all of them. There are still a few I'm missing. I don't know where I'll get them from, but I'm hopeful, man. And they're really good. Speaking of exotics, though, the exotic scout rifle that was supposed to be in this DLC has yet to make an appearance. To the best of my knowledge, nobody has it. Nobody. And I think there's a reason for that. The reason I'm assuming why we haven't gotten it yet is it's somehow going to be tied to some kind of a special event that they're going to do, and I don't know. I'm just assuming here before I move on to the next thing. I just want to throw that out there to you guys. Know that this DLC isn't completely done yet. If you've already played through everything, done trials, done prisons, and all that, guess what? There's still more to come. They said during the launch that this is not everything. We have some surprises that we haven't unveiled yet. We already know that there are areas of the reef that are going to open up slowly but surely over the next few months. So keep an eye on that, man. Just trust me on this. Keep an eye on that. All right? There's still more to come. Okay? That's just putting that out there to you guys. I don't remember where I heard it from, but I know I heard that for sure. And it's something that I personally can't wait for. But let's move on to Trials of Osiris. Yes, PvP, and I am the king of hating on PvP, but until recently, that was my stance. With Trials of Osiris, I can honestly say that my opinions of PvP have changed. I find myself enjoying PvP, and a big part of that is due to trials. I love the encounter itself. It is a challenging mode because you don't know if you're going to be put up against a bunch of really good players or a bunch of shitty players. And the way it's set up, you're not supposed to play the same team twice. Well, over the course of the last 3 weeks, there have been reasons and whatnot for a lot of people to not enjoy trials. Me personally, I've had my ups and downs with it. Sometimes we end up with a good team that just demolish us, and then there's times where you end up against teams that you can steamroll yourself. I've kind of gotten a mix of both. I personally have not yet had a team completely quit out on us, or any of that other stuff, those other shenanigans like DDoSing and whatnot. But I know people who have, and overall, I think Trials was a really good addition for PvP, especially because it's something you can look forward to. It's a PvP event you can look forward to every single week, just like just like the prison. You know, you got Prison of Elders, you have the raids. Now for PvPers, they have a special weekly thing that they can do, and a chance for them to get unique endgame loot that is kind of cool. I mean, me personally, I've got some of it, and I've enjoyed Trials very, very much. Is it challenging? Yes. Is it a little unbalanced in some regards? Yeah, I have a feeling that the power differential is maybe not as exaggerated as they initially sold it to be, but it is there, just not as much. Overall, I enjoy the mode. I think it was a good addition, and it makes the game fun, man. It's something different. And again, this is coming from a guy who adamantly hated PvP. I enjoy Trials of Osiris, and I've been playing a lot of PvP since Trials came out, so that may or may not say much to you guys, but to me, it's definitely a telling experience that if one thing can change my mind about an encounter that I never, ever thought I would enjoy, it's doing its job. So I guess the last thing we're left to talk about is the prison. I've talked about the story, I've talked about Trials, and the Prison of Elders, I love it. Do I wish we'd gotten a raid of some kind? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about it. I do wish there had been some kind of a raid, but I like this. I mean, even though a lot of people say, oh, it's horde mode, it doesn't really feel like a horde mode that I'm used to. You know, I'm used to like zombies and stuff. This doesn't feel much like that. In a way, it still feels like just a more elaborate version of Strikes, in a way. A little more complicated, a little more challenging, but essentially it's the same thing. I guess you could say it's a hybrid of Strikes and a raid. And my opinion is simple. I like it. I like what it brings. I like the addition. I like the challenge it brings every single week, and I like the excitement of finding out what this week's burns are. I can't wait each week for the next Prison of Elders. Although the rewards you can buy from Bjoerk's kind of suck, I can't wait for bigger and better rewards, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, man. I love the judgment chances. The weapons, I wish there was a far better direct way to get the elemental weapons from Skolas. Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyways, so overall, my opinions of House of Wolves are very high. I think House of Wolves delivered in every way that it promised it would. It didn't shortcut on anything. Every encounter matters. Every encounter feels special, feels unique, feels different. I love the etheric light feature that was added in. It is not something, unless you are grinding hardcore with Trials and Prison and everything else you can possibly do to get etheric light, you're not going to have a massive stockpile of it right this second. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me. If you did enjoy this video, let me know down in the comments below. I will see you guys again very soon with more Destiny.